Whew. Hello, my name is Peyton Clancy Fairbanks, the Cornerstone Real Estate, and I do apologize. I am a little late on this video. We got busy painting a house for an FHA loan yesterday. So that was a real hoot, but let's go on and jump right on into it. The first article that I kind of got going on today is where an historically overvalued housing market of these cities could see home price drops of 10%, Moody says. There's a lot of stuff in this that has been repeated from stuff that we've talked about before, but I wanted to bring up 3 points specifically on this article. Only 3% of housing markets have an elevated or high chance of housing price declines, according to CoreLogic. And CoreLogic is one of the people that judges and questions and sees what's going on in the real estate market and the future of it. And so what this is saying is that only 3% of markets are at a high chance of them decreasing their home value in the next 12 months. So people being like, oh my goodness, we lost 10% of our home value. I think that's a lot different than a lot of people expect. I need you to really understand that the reason behind this is that a lot of people are bringing cash, a lot of people more cash into the home purchases than we've seen before. And then also on top of that, loan regulation's harder than it's ever been in history. So there's those two things that build into it that make it so we do have a more stable market than 2008. And so also be aware people just aren't expecting the housing market to crash the same way it did. Could it happen? Maybe. People aren't expecting it as much. 2, HomeLogic expects home prices to increase 5% year over year. So we're not going to be seeing the 15 to 25%, but people are still expecting home price increases. Once again, get into a house, be comfortable with it, and make sure that your mortgage payment is manageable. These are just the assumptions that people are having, that experts are having on what the real estate market is going to do. And especially going into this, everything said, even by me, should be taken with a grain of salt. Zillow predicted home prices would decrease in fall of 2021. And did that happen? I really don't think that it did. But let's go on to this next article. This one's kind of one for me because I kind of think it's an interesting, silly guy. Great resignation quitters are rushing to get real estate licenses. Caldwell Bankers explains why that is and how he keeps his team happy. There's a lot of stuff in here we don't really care about as much, but I wanted to kind of talk about a couple of these points and explain to you how I've been looking at it. Between January of 2021 to January of 2022, the top how to become career search was real estate agent. And so how do we know what that ended up turning into? Between 2020 and 2021, over 156,000 people became realtors. And I was one of those people for sure. 3, the median average wage of a realtor is $48,340. Last year, I made about $90,000 of income. So it kind of gives you an idea of what it all looks like, really. And then 4, anywhere from 85 to 90% of realtors quit in the first 5 years. I want to talk about this because this is me going into my 3rd year or 2nd full year of being a real estate agent. And it makes sense. You do look at all the other realtors, and people do look at it as a cash grab. People are not very good at this job a lot of the time. And they don't look at it like it's a career and a job the way that you should. You got to work 50 hours a week. It doesn't matter if it's 12 in the morning or 12 at night to 5 in the morning or whatever. It doesn't matter when you work, but you have to work those hours. I think a lot of people don't really take into account the fact that creating buyers programs, creating systems, understanding your clientele, being able to communicate effectively, they're just not as easy as people expect them to be. And especially going forward, we as realtors need to be better at it. Let's keep on going. Last article I do want to end up kind of going over. This is a Utah-specific one, and I kind of think it's funny. Meth-contaminated house goes for $575,000 in a hot housing market. Please be aware that meth remediation only costs like $5,000 on a house this small, and then the median sales price of the home in this area in Mill Creek was like $800,000. So even if you're selling it for, let's say, $650,000, $5,000 in remediation, and then $50,000 in repairs, you're still looking at like a pretty good sized chunk of profit. So be careful of these news articles, and be careful of the things that they're saying, and be aware meth remediation really doesn't cost that much. So if you guys do have any questions, please let me know. Hope you're all doing well, and talk to you soon.